the new Frame TV Pro. Very cool. You open up the box and they actually put the template on here now, as well as they tell you how many inches to the top and how many inches to the bottom, depending on the measurement. So let's say 22.14, that'll be to the top point. As you can see, actually, sorry, it's to here. Very important. It goes to this. So this is 5 inches to right here. And then right here is 22.14. But again, that's only for this 55. If you go into a 65 or 85, look for that. But this is brand new on that box. What I did is I put this tape measure on here. I seen that 5.76, right? Well, if I'm looking here, that's about 0.76 right there. So I'll actually take that off of this. Now, I know that that is 2.76, which means it's 3 inches to this nice clean top edge. I think it's better to go off of that. So since I know that this is 2.76 minus that from there, we have 3. Since we have 3 inches, it's 3 inches from the top of where I want the TV. Why is that huge? Because now if I want 2 inches up there above that plate, just to make sure it's covered, what I'll do is I will mark at the 3 mark right there, because I now know that I'm 3 inches to the top, right? Okay, so put a pencil mark there. We'll put our template up after we figure out center. Center is pretty easy, there to there, and then cut it in half and mark your center. My center is 30 3/4. I've now got that marked. I've marked here, and then I measured from my mantle to here and put a mark. Measured from my mantle to here. That was that measurement before where I said the 3 inches. I marked that, I measured, and the reason why I always go off the mantle, not all mantles are level. If you want to, you can use that, but I will also be going with a measuring tape, because this is the fun thing. Unless you have a really good contractor, a lot of the times these can be out, those can be out, so you can check it with your level. The best part about the frame is it's on a rocking frame mount, so you can still center. Now that we've got our measurements, I'm gonna hold this template up. We're gonna see where our bracket starts and ends. What I always suggest is when you do that, then we'll measure for studs. If there's none in there, you have to use toggler anchors or whichever you'd prefer. Usually with these, you're lucky if you hit one stud, and then you have to toggle the other side. Mark the end of the bracket, so that way you know where your bracket ends. As you can see, I did the same on the other side, a couple marks, and now we will check for studs. All right, if you take a look here, stud there, but no stud on this side. So we will put one Hilti toggle anchor on that side. This side, you can see I've already marked it. Yay, we have a stud right there, but no stud on this side. So again, one Hilti toggle here, and we'll hit the wood over here with 2 screws. So 2 screws here, 1 Hilti here. Don't know what a Hilti toggle looks like. There you go. Drill a 1/2 inch hole and we'll slide it in. 1/2 inch hole, slip it in, pull this so they're flat, just like that, and then zip this up to the wall, break off the plastic. Again, still straight, zipped it up to the wall, just like that. We now have a riveted standoff. Let's go ahead, thread these bolts in first. Once we have these tight and leveled, then put in your hard mounting bolt positions. Do it with a screwdriver unless you're good with an impact, because you could pull those rivets right through the drywall if you're not careful. I always suggest for people that are first using these, use a screwdriver. Go tight with the screwdriver, but you just don't want to pull that through. Now, as you can see, I'm using that template. Check this out. You can use it as a straight edge, put your level on the bottom if you'd like, and go ahead and throw those remaining screws in. What's also good is if you flip it around, you can double check to make sure you're the right distance apart. Now, one last thing I was going to tell you, again, I could show you this afterwards, is take these little winglets and stretch them out a little bit. From factory, they're pretty tight, and by stretching them out a bit, you can hook those rings on easier. Perfect flush in a line. Perfect. Could maybe move over a tiny bit, but to tell you the truth, you have some playroom with this. The rings do slide a little bit, but I'd say within a quarter of an inch to a little less, so make sure you're pretty darn close. But we're level, we're in. Also with these Samsung screws, always pre-drill and always use a Phillips that is pretty much brand new. If you use a bit you've been using for the last little bit, you will strip them quicker than anything. All right, shortest screws of the two, so you can see they're two different lengths. Grab the two minis, put them through here, tie them in, left goes to the left, right goes to the right. Very cool thing. They finally did what I told them to do last year. Not that I'm just saying that I put it in my video. They needed to make the one HDMI in the back of the Pro a E-arc for your soundbars, and guess what? They did it. This is exciting. Now, if you have a soundbar, you're gonna need a, if it's the Samsung frame soundbar, it's just micro HDMI to micro. But if you have any of the other soundbars, it has to be micro to regular sized ARC HDMI. Keep that in mind. From here, the only power you need to plug in is here. Do not plug this in to that port. That's for plugging in the wireless one connect. Big foam up here, small foam down here. That allows for the airflow. We are ready to go. Put the power in here. Let's lift it up, plug it in, put this eyelet and this eyelet into those two rings. Mounts up, power's ready, and there. And just so you know, if yours isn't recessed and it's flush mounted, you could either hire an electrician, or if you're competent enough yourself, you can get a retro kit, and it cuts out, you take the box out and you put the retro kit in and it recesses it. But again, I'm not going to show you how to do that today, as that should be performed by a licensed electrician. They also kept the E-arc on the back of the box. Plug it into internet or put it on Wi-Fi, plug it into power, leave it like this, or to power on the TV, find the box and accept it. Well, there it is. As you can see, TV's up, and they have that E-arc port, which is awesome. The new template's awesome. And, I mean, you got your wireless one connect. I do wish one thing, last thing, that they left provisions so you could add a one connect cable if the wireless is just too horrible in the cabinet. But other than that, literally 10 out of 10. They've done a lot of upgrades this year. So thanks again, Samsung.